started.
We're
Let's
live.
go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our 6th annual in-person warehouse sale. Hope you're warm enough. It's a little cooler here, but we got plenty of heaters. I'd like to welcome you to our first live demo of the day, where we're actually going to, because based on the people who are here, based on what everyone has been talking about and interested in, we're going to combine 2 demos at this point. The very first thing we are going to do is we are going to show you how to do a short extension with the Light Elegance Jimmy Gel. Jimmy Gel is a brush and bottle builder. So that means you can build a nail with the ease of applying nail lacquer. So you're not going to do giant extensions, but an extension this length is going to work just fine. And then what we're going to do is also demonstrate a overlay with P+ gel polish. So our model today has 2 naked nails, which is perfect. And we have Mackenzie here, who is our in-house educator for Light Elegance. Mackenzie is an esthetician, has been for 4 years now, I think. Sure. Feels like forever. And then once we are done with the Light Elegance, we are going to move into a Make Sense manicure add-on. I don't know if that's backward on the screen, but we are going to use is that cranberry? We're going to do the cranberry scrub for fall. Yeah, so this would be a spa manicure add-on for sure, because what you want to do for your clients is add value. Anytime they can go anywhere to one of those sandwich board places and get a walk-in manicure for cheaper than you can do it. But you are the only one who can add the value to keep your clients coming back. Over to you, Mackenzie.
Okay. Hi. So I'm going to do a little bit of cuticle cleanup first. So I got my e-file, and this is the Light Elegance Itty Bitty Bit. And I will turn it on. I'm just going to do this on the pad of your finger so you know how gentle it is.
I don't even do that.
Exactly. Perfect. Okay, bear with me. The camera's usually where my head goes.
Mackenzie, what speed are you set at?
I believe it's like 8 to 10-ish.
Okay.
And now this bit is a diamond grit bit, so you can go either way. So usually you would start in the middle and work your way around, and then you turn off the e-file, flip the direction, turn it back on, and go back the other way. I am used to using the preppy bit, though, where you have to go one direction. That feel okay?
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. Did you guys see the angle she's holding that at?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm not pointing it directly into the nail. I'm holding it very level with the nail because there is grit at the end and you can drill through the nail. You don't want to do that. I'm also using a very gentle touch. Okay, that's all you do. And then I'm going to take my 100 grit nail file and just dull the edges because these can be very, very sharp. This is very important. If you do not do this, you will most likely cut your client. So I always have an extra half of one that I just use for every nail file. Oops. Let's put it back in the drawer. There we go. Just clean up any. Your cuticles are great. So you don't even really have much. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just shout them out. And I'll grab my hand file, and I'm just going to round the edge. So we're going to do the extension on this one because this nail is very short. And I'm just gently roughing up the surface of the nail. I'm not filing it away. I'm just filing it until I see that little roughness.
When you do have your e-file too, Mackenzie, I heard some people making statements about e-filing. So if you have the ability to demo that a little bit.
I
awesome.
did just demo the itty bitty bit, actually. Itty bitty bit.
And you are also, remember, you're live on YouTube, so feel free to keep talking for the people who are not here.
Okay. This is just the prep bit, so there's not much to talk about here.
So Mackenzie, the importance of the nail being short enough for the extension.
Like how long the extension can be?
No, when you prep your nail before you put it, the importance of the nail not being too long before you put your foil on or your.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't normally file the nail too short when applying an extension. Like even on this, I would do an extension.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if if the nail was much longer than this,
You take it back.
I might take it back a little bit because it can kind of get in the way. And if you look under the nail after doing an extension, there is a bit of a lip there.
Right.
And
you don't want to see that.
Exactly, yeah. So if the nail is too long, you would see that immediately. Now there is a way, I don't think I'll be able to do it today because that nail is very short, but there is a way to flip the hand, and actually this is perfect.
File it.
So these are extensions that were already on there. And this one has a bit of a lip here. So you could actually take your e-file and file underneath it with whichever bit. I would probably start with the itty bitty and maybe finish with the smoothie or the speedy bit.
Perfect. So if your nail's way too long with your foil, how do you find? Do you find that? I mean, just underneath it just doesn't look so great.
No, it doesn't because of that lip. Yeah, and that's why I would clean that up. But no, it is nicer to kind of start with a shorter nail. It's easier to get the form nice and close to the tip of the finger. And make sure that there's no gaps. Okay, so that was just using a LE white and my Light Elegance cleanser. And I just wiped the nail to get any dust or debris off. And now I'm going to use my Cutie P Plus base coat. And this is a gel-based base coat and a soak off. So this is a gel polish. And I'm just applying a very thin coat and making sure I get the free edge as well. And if I get any on the skin, wiping that off before it's cured.
Can you also talk about C-curve and flat nails? That was another conversation I was party to.
So flat nails, which you do not have, lucky. Me and my mom both have flat nails. So we have to kind of manufacture a C-curve. And I will show you that a little bit with the form when I get it on here. Just making sure I got base coat on both of those. And now this is the LED dot mini. So we're just going to shove the two fingers in there.
These are also 15% off today too. I know that I was talking to some people who were looking at a second lamp. You guys all have the Light Elegance dot lamp, and I have to tell you, Nicole is the reason you have that dot lamp in your kit. She worked super hard to upgrade you to this brand.
Yep.
Rather than the $80 UV lamp.
It's expensive lamp.
Well, and you guys know, I think that you guys have had some lamps that have either not worked, or was it you or the previous?
It was the previous.
Yeah, there was so many problems with those lamps. So finally, we were able to upgrade to a full professional
I was
lamp.
so excited.
Yeah.
This is the first go round.
I actually was dancing in the clinic. They are market leaders. So the Light Elegance dot lamp, the third generation, cures at 405 nanometers. And it doesn't matter so much what wavelength of light it cures at, but just that your lamp matches your product and what the product optimally cures at.
So these are the LE forms, and they come on a roll of 300. So you get a lot. You can tell I've had this one for a very long time. So I'm just going to pop out this middle part. And before I do that, I'm just going to grab my scissors. And I'm going to show you how you can cut it. So I'm just going to attach this part here. It's very
It's hard
difficult
with
with
gloves.
gloves, yeah. And I'm just going to place it on the finger. I'm not going to pinch it or anything. Okay. So I'm just going to get it nice and close under the nail. So she doesn't really need it, but I'm going to show you anyway. So to get a really, really nice close fit, just at the edge of the nail, just make a little mark with your nail or your scissors on either side, just as far up as you need the form to go. And then you take that off. And then you just do little cuts where those marks are.
So you're doing an angle cut?
I do it slightly angled out.
Okay.
So what this would do on a normal nail, actually let me show you on this thumb. So normally if you put this on the thumb, it would not get close enough and it would be on top of the nail. But by doing it, it gives it more space for the sides to open. So that can get really nice and close up to the edge and you can still use the whole form.
And it won't be a gap.
Exactly. Okay, so now I'm just going to stick the back. I lied. I'm jumping too far ahead. I'm going to take this piece first. So if you have someone, now you've got a nice round nail bed or free edge. But if someone has a flat nail bed, you can take this and just stick it slightly over the opening and that will flatten out that round piece. Now her nail fits perfectly, so I'm just going to put it back here for some extra strength. And I'm just going to scoop that under her nail. And I'm going to stick it on the sides, and then I'm going to look at it from the side. Now that is very much not straight. That is pointing down. So I'm going to make sure I look at it from the side, make sure it's pointing straight out. You can also get that back under there. I can also see you have a little bit of a eggshell nail, a little bit.
There's a gap up above would be better for you.
So to avoid that, to fix it in the future, you can actually angle the form upwards a little bit. So as it grows out, it's more straight and not curving down the whole time.
Okay. Can you explain to me what an eggshell nail?
So an eggshell nail is a nail that curves downwards versus a ski jump nail, which grows upwards.
Right.
So if you just grab the side of the finger, and I just kind of let my hands go where they want to. And then to make this is how I manufacture my C curve. I just pinch the end. Yeah, so it just tightens the sides a little bit more, so it's a really nice C curve. So as long as you're not using the whole length, you can do that. But if you are using the whole length, you'll get a nice C curve anyway. So I try to make it as close as I'm going to go.
So I want you guys to start practicing not the longer nails, but the shorter with this technique.
And then when you pinch it, it will go up a little bit, so you can see that it's kind of shooting up. So I do want it to shoot up a little bit, but not quite that much. So I'm just going to move it down a little bit. So just unclip those.
No, most of it should not.
Perfect. Now I'm going to take my Jimmy gel, and this is the ideal pink. Actually, I'm going to grab the natural. So this is the natural Jimmy gel. So you won't even be able to tell that she has an extension. So if you flip her hand upside down afterwards, it will just look like her natural nail.
Oh, I like that color.
There are a couple builders that are also come in the natural color.
It would be so nice for French tip.
There's also a boomer white that you can do a really crisp French with.
What are you doing, Mackenzie? Just a straight extension?
Just a straight extension. I'm just going to pull that up onto the nail a little bit so it doesn't break off. And then I'm wiping my brush off on both sides into the bottle. And then I'm just cleaning up the edges. Because if your gel is kind of everywhere, then you have to file that. But if you can clean it up before it's cured, might not be much, but you can put that little bit of gel back in the bottle and use it on another client.
Such a user-friendly gel.
So easy. Make sure you get right to the edges too, because you can get a little lip that can catch on clothing or Kleenex in your hair, everything. So we'll put that hand in. Now this light turns on for 1 minute. However, it only needs to be cured for 30 seconds. So I've just got a timer set on my phone. And while that's curing, I'll put my stuff away. So I used the P+ base coat, and then I put the form on, and then I used the natural building base Jimmy gel. And then after that's cured, I'm going to go in with the Ideal Pink Jimmy gel. And that is 30 seconds.
Do you have to buff it down or anything like that before applying it, or is it?
If it's sticky, so between every layer of gel, there is a sticky layer.
Yeah, the inhibition.
Yes. So as long as that sticky layer is still intact, you can go right in with another layer of gel.
Okay.
The only time you need to buff it is if you wipe the nail and there's no sticky layer, because then it's just smooth and there's nothing for the gel to hold on to. Okay.
If you're just learning and you're kind of like, your surface isn't smooth, is that what you were asking?
Well, yeah, I was just thinking about like if the ridges or like
Yeah.
sometimes you can see like not bubbles, but like if you
Indents.
put
Indents or
Oh, after the extension?
yeah. So
Oh,
just
okay.
just the first layer, I know how you switch colors, so I didn't know if there would be such a drastic change that you would probably like maybe blend it beforehand or not.
Depends on how thick it is.
Okay.
I just blended the white up a little bit.
Okay.
And it was really thin just so it didn't like pop off if she like hit it in the light or something, because clients will put their hand in and it will hit this and then it will come off, and so I just pull it up a little bit. You could also take the form off before you go in with this. However, I have taken the form off with the extension way too many times. So I do the apex before I take the form off.
Yeah.
Clients have to keep it on for a little bit longer, but it means they don't need to have a second one.
so when you're learning your viscosity of your gel, you'll learn how much to put on. So if you put too much on, then you would have to kind of balance it before. Yeah.
So I just did a little slip layer. This is the slip layer and dollop technique. So you do a slip layer all over the whole nail, over the extension, everything. And then I take a little bit of a dollop on my brush, and then you apply it to the stress area. And the stress area is where the nail bed meets the free edge. So then you just do a little dot there because that's where you want most of the bulk. Now this is self-leveling, so you can just kind of let it move.
I love that about it.
It's so easy. This is a thinner viscosity compared to like even One Step or Cool Gel Extreme. So it does move very quickly, so you don't really have much time to let it self-level. So I'm just going to move it up the nail a little bit. Make sure it's thick enough on the sides.
I now own this color.
Great color.
I'm excited to try this.
Now, as I said, this is self-leveling. So sometimes it falls to the sides, especially with the Jimmy gel because it moves so quickly. You can flip the hand, and that will just pull the gel into the middle where you want it to go, right to the stress point. I make sure to look at it from the side too. Make sure it's moving where I want it to go.
Would you be so kind
Now I'm going to do what's called a flash cure. So I'm going to cure that for 5 to 10 seconds. And that's just going to cure the top layer of the gel so that it doesn't move, so that I can then work on the next nail. And then it can all be done at the same time. So if you're extending, all the nails, you can go in, just do a little bit, cure for 5 seconds, go on to the next one, cure for 5 seconds.
So you can do the full.
And you can do it much quicker than letting it just cure and then you're waiting. It's only 30 seconds, but it takes a long time when you're just sitting there waiting. Oh, and we got some dog hair, of course. That's a set of nails without some dog hair. So I'm just doing a little layer. So this one we're just doing an overlay on. We're not extending it at all. I'm just doing a little layer of pink to cover any little imperfections in the nail, and to give it a little bit of strength too. So now we're going to put both of them in the light.
That's how I
Okay.
find it.
And then that is going to cure for 30 seconds. So some of the colors we're going to do, these are the new colors from the Whodunit collection. So this is Dirty Little Secret, and this is one of my favorite colors. This is a dark purple. Oh, yeah. Here's the gasps.
Oh,
That's a really pretty color. And we're going to pair that with this guy. And this is Miss Suspicious. Again, this is from the Whodunit collection. This is one of the glitter gels.
It's nice and thick.
So, Light Elegance just won an award, and I can't remember what it is called. Bonnie,
Yes,
what was the award that Light Elegance just won for the P+?
they won their Nail Pro Magazine Best Glitter 2022.
Nice.
Yeah, there is nothing like the Light Elegance glitters.
Mhm.
Nothing.
So this is another glitter. This is the No Clue. And this is one of my favorite glitters now. It's a dark blue, and it has a little bit of a tinted gel to it. The gel is slightly black. Lots of blue, and there's some hollow in there. Gorgeous. So as I said earlier, when you remove the sticky layer, there's nothing for the gel to hold on to. So you then have to buff it. So we're going to file this now anyway. So I'm going to take this off. Oh, I got dry hands. Form is sticking to you. And then just to remove it, I like to just pinch underneath the extension, and then it comes off really nicely. So that one's going to be filed anyway. So I'm going to leave that one for now. And I'm going to go on to this one, because if we get any dust on this, we then have to wipe it and buff it. So I'm going to finish this nail before I file that one. So this one is just going to be straight glitter, because who doesn't love glitter?
It is perfect for joy.
Oh, I love that one.
And you can see that's one coat. Like, this is really thin.
Good color saturation.
It is. That's the one thing I like.
Just make sure there's no.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And then we'll clear that.
Look at it just sparkling.
I know, it's like a ring.
I like my bling.
My eyes can't even like concentrate on it.
I have to tell my clients that if they have glitter on their hands, focus on the road, not your nails.
Remember that for the dread.
Okay.
It's beautiful, huh?
So again, these are all from the Whodunit collection. And so this is just one of the colors. There are 5 other colors that are just as gorgeous, and 4 other glitters that are just as gorgeous. And that is 30 seconds. We'll do one more coat of this.
That
That
is
is
just
very pretty.
So as I said, this has a little bit of a tint to the gel color. It has some black in it. So it has some really, really nice coverage.
some great tips.
Mhm. But if I was doing a whole nail with Miss Suspicious, this guy, I would probably do a base color underneath just because it is so light and the gel isn't tinted. It's just clear.
Make it pop out more.
Yeah, exactly.
Options. We like
There's so many options. I've been playing around with using multiple glitters on the same nail. So if you have something a little bit more neutral like that, and you're playing around with a blue color, you might want to add just a little bit of blue to it, just a really thin layer, and that will just kind of make it pop. I did that with a pink the other day. The glitter was just not quite bright enough, so we added bright glitter with just a couple pieces.
So you don't need to use a base coat if you don't like the inhibition layer.
So I did a base coat on this nail, and then I
yes.
did a layer of the Jimmy gel, and that has a sticky layer on it.
Yeah.
And then I went in with the glitter.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use the P Plus top coat. And again, these are all gel polish. They're all soak off. Even the Jimmy gel is a soak off. You can file these off if you want.
Joey's
Are
like,
you happy?
I love
Joey's
that
beaming.
one.
So pretty.
very iridescent.
Fantastic. Oh, fantastic.
So everything cures for 30 seconds. Base coat, color, glitter, everything except the top coat is 1 minute. So we're going to let this cure completely, and then we will go back to the other one, the short extension, and file it and put some pretty colors on it. Is this making sense to everyone? Does everyone have any questions?
Not yet.
No, not yet. Okay.
I am learning though.
Look, the sun's trying to come out.
Yay, no more rain.
Thank God. I need it to not rain this afternoon. Got a lot of stuff to put out. No, I won't do that. I'm not that person. But it needs to not.
Okay. Now I'm going to take my LE wipe again. Pull my sleeves up. Take my LE wipe and my LE cleanser. And I'm going to wipe both the nails because this has top coat, which has been cured.
It does.
Such a pretty color.
And then
So
this is ready to be filed.
So sparkly.
I might have to own that color.
That's how I got my first glitters.
Where is it? Great.
Is it coming in good?
There is, yep, there's a
Can
whole
you get it
collection.
separately out of the box?
That is the colors.
That's
Oh,
the
without
color.
the sparkle, the glitters on that one.
So your nails are square, so we'll keep this one square too. With a little bit of a taper. So I like to file the free edge first to get the general shape I want. And I'm also looking at it from the side to make sure that it's not angled down. Sometimes when you pinch the form like that, the gel can seep down, so you want to make sure that it's nice and straight. And then I like to go around.
I like how it gives it like the underneath, like it has a seat or kind of too, right? So you don't need to do
Exactly.
What's the name
Exactly.
Now for my sad little flat nails.
blue one.
So that's what you would do. Just pinch the end, and that would help a lot.
Yeah.
So I start at either side just to get
clue?
rid of any bulk. That's the
Yeah.
blue that's on, yeah.
They were asking what
Oh,
the name
okay.
was. I'm like looking. I'm like, I think this is it.
I do like the pink. It's very nice.
I
It's
love
very
that.
nice.
I love the light pink. Yeah.
Again, I'm just going to check from either side.
Can you tell me what grit file that is?
This is a 100-100.
So, sorry, what was it?
100, 100.
Those are the same grit that you guys have.
In the black or the fresh?
We get a couple of colors.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to remove any dust so I can see what's going on in here. Okay. I was hoping I'd get a little bit of spillage into the cuticle so I could show you, but I'm going to do it anyway. So sometimes if you have too much gel, actually this one is a really good example. Are you okay if I fix this one? Okay.
Absolutely.
So you can see on this nail that it's got it's seeped into the cuticle a little bit and it's starting to lift. So you can use your itty bitty bit or your preppy bit, even just a small cuticle bit. And you can go in and just file that away. So that you get a really clean line around your cuticle. I love it. This is my favorite part. So it's really helpful for beginners who are still trying to figure out how to get the gel on clean, which I mean, I still do sometimes too. I spill into the cuticle, but there. So you can see it just gets rid of all the little pieces.
And then it won't lift.
And then it less chance of it lifting, yeah. Just make sure that that's nice and smooth.
Oh, that's a great color.
I have a lot of clients who are very particular about the shape of their nails. My mom. So once I am done filing, first I'm going to buff. So just to make sure that there's no shiny bits, because as I was saying earlier, if there's a shiny bit, there's no sticky.
What
You have to buff it.
buffer are you using?
I will have to figure that out. I will ask someone. I don't remember.
So, but is that buffer more ideal for nail enhancements or natural nails?
I think it's a rougher grit.
Yeah.
I am also just very impatient, so I don't want to sit there with the
Yeah.
gentle buffer
Yeah,
just
same.
buffing.
Yeah.
Same. I tried it just with these ones.
Did you guys know?
No, this
So
is like
after I am
cashed out on it yet.
happy with the shape of this, I will then ask my client, "What do you think? Does that look okay?
I love it.
Looks good?
Yes.
Perfect."
It's so pretty. Now,
Because
Mackenzie, do you have that blue polish that you used on her, not in the box?
This guy,
Yeah, I see
It
it over there in the
might
box, but
be-
not on its own.
you can take it out of the
Can I?
box. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely,
thank you.
absolutely, you can. Okay. So now that that's done, I'm going to take my nail wipe again and my cleanser. I'm going to wipe the nail.
Wow, it looks so natural.
So now there's lots of dust here. So I like to fold my towel and then there's no more dust.
You can still see the moon.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. So now this is Dirty Little Secret.
Oh, that's a great color.
So now these brushes have a really nice round tip to them. So it's really easy to get super close.
Love it.
I like the pigment on them as well.
Mhm.
They're not super sheer, so you don't have to go in as million times.
Exactly. And you'll find that these colors as well, the P Plus doesn't shrink. Like
Oh,
you have
nice.
to put a lot of color on there for it to shrink. Like a lot.
What do you mean by shrink?
So sometimes with other brands, if you apply the gel too thick, it will literally shrink.
Oh,
So that's what happened
Yeah.
to Vicky and I that day with the black.
Yes.
That's what that was. When we were getting frustrated because it kept disappearing, it was
Ah.
shrinking.
So if that happens, like if it pulls back from the cuticle like that, like the pigment, wipe the nail, buff it.
Okay.
Because that could be
Yeah, we ran into that problem actually.
Yeah, it could be the sticky layer that's causing it. Okay.
Did you notice the thin?
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah.
It does not have to be thick at all.
And like the pull on the brush too. Did you feel that on your nail? Yeah.
It looks pink in the light.
It does.
I was just gonna say, it kind of looks, it's so pretty.
The other ones were missing white. I love those sparkles.
Nails are so amazing. I love nails. I just love them so much.
So in addition to the pink and the natural Jimmy gel that we used, there is also a Boomer White Jimmy gel. So you can use that. It's a milky white. You can use that to extend the nail if you're doing a French tip. And then you can probably get away with only one coat of the white on the top. And then there's also a soft pink.
That's one I just purchased.
And you can tell I use this one a lot. So it's a little bit gentler on the pink.
Just gently.
Mm-hmm.
Now can you mix Jimmy gels together?
Absolutely.
So you can mix the neutral.
Not
Use neutral and
Yeah, exactly.
I just didn't know
But
if
you
you
need,
like
yeah.
pour
Get
it
a
out.
daffodil dish. Get a daffodil dish and mix them up for sure.
Okay.
I've done that with colors and
The
glitters too.
neutral and the ideal pink could probably look good together for like a baby pink if we mix it.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
just a little bit of extra pigment.
This is a new color, so there's too much gel in it. That's too much on the nail.
Did you have a record documentation you always filled out every time you saw?
So this is a very, very, very thin layer. And I even like to apply it a little thicker and then go back and remove as much as I can, so that we know it's very, very thin.
Kind of reminds me of like a Halloween like witchy kind of color.
Mm. I have it on my toes with What's Your Alibi, which is like a gold orange color, and it's on top of it, so it looks very Halloween-y. Love it. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of nail art with Miss Suspicious. Very, very easy. You can do it with P+, you can do it with regular color.
I love it. It went from who did it? No clue.
No clue.
And now Miss Suspicious. So it's like a storyline here.
Okay. So you could apply it over the whole nail, and that would look nice.
I know, right?
But I'm going to take this and just do a little around the cuticle. Ooh, that was a lot.
Here, drag it out.
Yes, we'll do a little glitter fade. Ooh, it's cold out here. My breath is. You see my breath. Just make sure it gets all the way to the edge. You don't want to ring around the nail.
Just round the
I don't have TikTok. It's so.
And now I normally use a orange wood stick to do this. Lots of dog hair. I'm just going to do it with the brush today. You can just gently pull it down. If you're doing it with the brush, just be extra careful that you're not pulling too much. So I have a very, very light touch, just as if I'm sculpting the nail, very, very light, just barely touching. And this one's really nice because it has really, really fine pieces, not as fine, and then a little bit bigger pieces too.
Yeah, I have my one.
Again, just making sure you get to all the edges.
It's so pretty.
Mm.
Now I want to order all of those.
I know.
Oh,
You should.
You should, Shannon. I give you the okay for that.
all of them.
And then that cures for 30 seconds again. So we used no clue on the thumb. And this also comes in glitter gel.
Isn't that interesting? It almost like cures orange, like little specks in it.
Mm. It's fun to see what the different colors that the different gels turn. Yep. Ooh, that is a cold breeze. We're almost done. Okay, that's our 30 seconds.
Oh my goodness.
Then we got our top coat. Not yet. After the top coat.
Oh, I'm so excited. That's so beautiful.
So a glitter fade is a really easy thing to give to your clients. That is like quick, but it feels like to the client that you're giving them a little bit of extra, and it's not just another layer of color, you know? It's not just over the whole nail. And that clears for 1 full minute.
You are gonna get it? Let her keep it for a bit. She just got it.
Bonnie. Will, am I going right into the next one on this same line?
Yep, we're gonna do.
I'm going right. It's all the same. Okay. That's all. So you're gonna get an arm treatment today too.
Oh.
Lucky you.
Okay.
Actually, we gotta get
Oh. Oh, sweet. Okay. There we go.
because we still have to get back to your place, and I still gotta get back to.
There you go. That's good. Let everyone else try.
Yeah. I shouldn't get all the pampering. Divide it up.
So just my LE wipe and some cleanser. Just give it a really good wipe. Double check this one's wiped. And then
Careful when you're driving.
just
Don't
to show
start.
you a little something that's really good for taking pictures. Grab your cuticle oil. After you put your hand cream on normally, put your cuticle oil on. And then you take a clean lint-free wipe and you can shine the nail.
Oh, I like that. That's what I did for Libby. That's why your fingers look so shiny.
You can see, especially with this one, you'll see. It's
Oh yeah, with the blue, it's just gonna shine like no
gonna be
other.
blinding. That's
I'd
how we
like
like
a car this color.
Yeah, that is shiny. Yeah, that's pretty.
So then you can get really, really good Instagram photos or whatever photos. There
Very
you go.
nice. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Do you mind if I take a quick picture of that?
Absolutely.
All right.
I know. I think we know the routine. Yeah, we just automatically know
Just
pictures happen.
Actually, we'll do it just on the way here.
Right?
Just gonna do.
Oh, did I hand you mine, Shane?
Just relax your hands. That's okay. Let's do a photo, not a video.
Are you gonna vote?
Merry Christmas.
You take one. Yeah, that was you. You just don't even play it. It's like a broken phone. Oh, it's inside. It's like a broken phone screen. You grab your phone, you just take your time looking at it.
So pretty. Oh, it's cutting off the top of your finger.
Oh dear.
No, I do have a question just before Joey gets up. What positions would you best would be best for positioning your nails when taking photos?
I like to play with a couple different ones. So can I see your other hand? So I like this one's really popular. If you're doing this one, make sure thumbs are in because it looks weird if your thumbs are out. So thumbs in, fingers tight together, no gaps. You can play around. You can do this guy. Can you see on the camera? Yeah. So you can do this guy, and then I just say relax your hand and throw it over top like you're relaxing, and like that. You can also do this guy and just play around with the angles, whether they're more down, more up, and then where your phone is too. If it's down here, if it's up here, if it's over here, lots of stuff. Just play around.
Better for my portfolio. You don't got somebody standing there like this.
Play around with it too. Yeah, like I've done one where you're like holding something and then you can put your hand on it too. Lots of fun. Lots of fun stuff you can do.
Oh, look! Oh my God!
able
That's
to
it
add.
afterwards, or is it just
Yep.
the live?
It will be on there unless it looks horrible.
Filing?
Okay.
Filing this way.
Then you're
Make sure that it's.
That it
So
will
we'll know if
posted.
it's not there.
Yeah. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Lemoore Brings More on Instagram, Facebook, go to their website, website chat. You can reach Nicole or Katrina and they can answer any questions you have.
Okay, I was
Mhm.
just wondering because we're gonna head out and I wanted to see the hand.
Right.
Yes,
Like the
absolutely.
outline, so we'll go
Be
and
there.
watch it after.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming, guys.
Just in
Thank you
case.
so much.
I'm just going to end this. Okay. Thanks, everyone, for watching.